Coming up on Mountain News at 6, one Pike County road project is set to begin soon as officials remind drivers to be safe in work zones. And one Eastern Kentucky school nurse highlights the importance of testing children for vision and hearing problems as the school year gets underway.
Plus, temperatures are below average for now, but more heat is on the way. Those details coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Planned road construction in Pike County will soon create traffic changes and delays on a busy stretch of US 23. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more from the Coal Run community, where the project brings up an important reminder to always drive safely.
The seasons are changing and so are the streets. As Kentucky Transportation Cabinet crews repair and repave roads, asking drivers to be cautious.
I mean, there's a lot of things going on around you, a lot of distractions, no matter if you're in a work zone or not.
Between back-to-school commutes and major projects, officials say keeping your eyes on the road is the best way to help those who are working to improve them.
A lot of businesses, a lot of things happening right there in this work zone. So we just ask, like I said, just to be patient and be aware of your surroundings.
Especially with projects like the Stone Coal to Mossy Bottom resurfacing in the Coal Run community.
It's nighttime work. We will all have our high vis on at all times. And like I said, 45-mile-an-hour stretch already, but we ask motorists just to take extra caution.
Which will cause traffic delays and changes during the next several weeks as workers take on the night shift to avoid cutting into rush hour traffic.
The crews that'll be out there, we're normally day shift workers, so, you know, it'll be a little stressful to do this work at night, but it's for the safety of everyone, including those that are working.
The work will close several lanes every night through the duration of the project, and one lane will remain closed throughout the day to keep equipment ready.
4 to 6 weeks is what we're looking at, and we're going to try our best to get this thing done as safely and as efficiently as possible.
As crews prepare the pavement, asking drivers to commute with care. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Certainly a busy area there. The road repairs will begin next Tuesday and continue every weeknight from 7 p.m. until 6 a.m. until the project is complete. A traffic alert for folks traveling in and around downtown Hazard tomorrow. KYTC officials say paving will resume on Kentucky 15, beginning on the north end of the bridge crossing the North Fork of the Kentucky River near Long John Silver's, and will proceed northbound. You might, if you're familiar with that area, they've already been working on that area. The work is expected to be done by the end of the day tomorrow or on Thursday. Now, no work is scheduled for Friday or the Labor Day weekend. After Labor Day, it will continue, and the repaving will go along Memorial Drive before ending at the Highway 15 intersection near Double Quick. Well, we continue to follow a developing story out of Wolfe County that we first told you about at 4 o'clock. A section of the Mountain Parkway has been closed due to a deadly crash. Officials with KYTC say the road is closed near mile point 49. We haven't received an update really since 4 o'clock. At last check, it is still closed. Officials say they are not sure how long the parkway will be closed in that area. Again, this is, we understand, a deadly crash, and we believe 3 vehicles were involved. We will, of course, update this story as we learn more here and on WYMT.com. A Lexington woman is charged in connection to a deadly Bell County shooting investigation. Deputies say Rebecca Caldwell lied to them about a man who was wanted for trying to kill a police officer. The citation claims police came looking for the man at Caldwell's location. Caldwell's charges are hindering prosecution and facilitation to murder. The man who was killed has not yet been identified. No law enforcement officials were hurt. 2 people are dead after a shooting in Logan County. Along Pierre Street in Chapmanville last night. In a news release, officials say the victims were Howard Bryant and his wife Melinda. Both were 53 years old. Police say there is no threat to the public and the incident was an isolated one. 2 people are facing charges after a traffic stop turned into a police chase in Clay County. Last week, a Manchester police officer reportedly saw a car turn without giving a signal near Richmond Road. During a chase, the driver forced other cars off the road as well as running several stop signs. The driver later lost control and hit a ditch on Cottle Gap Road. Elliot Westbury and Laney Miller were arrested on multiple charges. One Laurel County teenager is facing charges for his role in a shoplifting case. It happened last Friday at the London Walmart. Police were called about 18-year-old Zachary Oakley of London, who was reportedly caught stealing items from the store. After police made contact with Oakley, they say he ran toward the Dollar Tree nearby. Officers eventually arrested him after he was found hiding behind a dumpster next to the Dollar Tree.
Gloomy and soggy weather continues across the mountains into your Tuesday evening. Here's a live look at First Alert Pinpoint Doppler, watching out for some heavier downpours pushing into Dickinson and Buchanan County in southwest Virginia, also moving into Mingo and Logan counties in West Virginia and portions of Pike County. Also watching out for a few heavier showers there and more downpours in Clay County, also in southern Perry County as well. Also moving into portions of Whitley County, Bell County, Campbell and Claiborne County. So some spotty downpours are possible as we go into this evening. But thanks to the clouds, also the showers, temperatures are well below average. We should be in the lower 80s. Right now we are in the lower 70s, 71 for Jackson, 73 in Pikeville, and 74 over in London at this hour. As we go into tonight, those temperatures fall into the lower 60s. More showers are possible, especially early. But as we go late tonight, also early on Wednesday, we are watching out for some drier air to move back into the mountains. All those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Cameron, thank you. 1 in 4 kids have a vision problem, and nearly 15% of school-aged children have some degree of hearing loss. Both vision and hearing problems can pose a threat to a kid's ability to learn. With school back in session, WYMT's Olivia Calfee checked in with a school nurse to learn what they are doing to combat the issue.
25% of all children have a vision problem bad enough to impact their performance in school. Meaning instead of the vision chart looking like this, it may look something like this.
If they're struggling with so many letters on that chart or symbols on that chart, that lets us know that they are struggling to see, and we would try to intervene.
Roy G. Eversole school nurse Brittany Inguajato says prior to initial entry to school, every kid is required to have a vision exam completed by an eye doctor.
We make sure, that they have passed that, as well as our teachers are informed that if they're noticing students that are struggling to see the board, students that are complaining, they will send those students over to us to complete a vision screening.
Saying parents also need to pay close attention to their kids at home because one problem could lead to another. More than 1/2 of kids with vision problems also have at least one developmental disability, such as hearing loss, leading to a decline in their performance at school.
If a student is experiencing hearing loss, that definitely can cause issues with their learning, language development, things along those lines. You think about the language development. If a student can't hear what they're needing to hear, then that can certainly create that barrier. Starting from learning sounds, that's such a foundation for the learning environment and their education.
Inguajato says in an effort to keep hearing and vision problems out of the classroom, she does screenings on all students throughout the school year. In Hazard, Olivia Calfee, WYMT Mountain News.
If you notice hearing or vision problems at home with your child, Inguajato says you can contact the school, and typically a school nurse can help with the proper resources to get your child help. The U.S. News and World Report has named 2 Eastern Kentucky high schools in the state's top 20 high schools for 2023. Both high schools are independent school districts. Paintsville High School was ranked 15th in the state, while Pikeville High was ranked 16th. The next highest school district among mountain ones is Harlan High School at 28. We are a little more than 2 months away from the general election. Bell County has an important position to fill. On June 6th, Judge Robert Costanzo announced his retirement as Bell County Circuit Judge, meaning the November ballot will have a race for Circuit Judge, along with all the statewide races going on. One of the candidates is Commonwealth's Attorney Lisa Fugit, who says she wants to focus on safety.
I want safety for them. I want this entire county to be safe and know that that jail is not going to be a revolving door.
Fugit says as Circuit Judge, she can ensure that kids are safer. We will have more from Fugit and the other candidates tonight at 11. The Portal 31 Mine Museum in Harlan County began giving tours in 2009, and since then it has been in need of some major upgrades. Grant money for the upgrades was approved in 2018, with the project beginning in 2021. It's now nearing completion. Museum Director Nick Sturgill says with the upgrades, it should bring more visitors to Harlan County and boost tourism.
You know, Portal 31, when people come here to visit, they're not just visiting Portal 31, they're not just spending money here. That money trickles down to all the community. And bringing people here to see Portal 31, they're going to visit other areas within Harlan County.
The mine will celebrate the completion of the project on October 6th, and everyone is welcome. There will be food, fun, and an upgraded tour experience. One famous horse racing track is hosting a day of racing for one Eastern Kentucky school. Later this year, Keeneland is welcoming Heineman Settlement School on October 12th for the 21st annual Heineman Day at the Races. You can register for the event on the Heineman Settlement School's website. It costs $150 per person, including a $50 donation to the annual fund.
Well, we are watching out for some showers this evening, but cooler and drier weather is on the way. That full forecast coming up. Plus,
it's almost college football season in the Bluegrass. We'll take a look at how one Lexington neighborhood is preparing for all the traffic ahead of UK's first home game.